Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. So which one is it? Hindu Dharma suddenly under threat and a soft target, or suddenly we've developed a thinner skin? We're going to take you through that over the next 20 minutes. Here's more.
Hashtag boycott Fab India. Hashtag boycott CET. Hashtag boycott Dabur. This festive season, these have been the online trends, bolstered with a high political pitch. One ad campaign after another withdrawn. One for hurting Hindu sentiments. The other for hurting cultural ethos.
आज अगर हमारी टीम छक्के छुड़ाती है, तो हम भी पटाखे छुड़ाएंगे.
The latest, boycott Dabur for allegedly promoting lesbianism. Dabur India Limited tendered an apology and pulled down its latest advertisement featuring a lesbian couple celebrating the Hindu festival of Karwa Chauth. This after Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra threatened legal action.
ये जानबूझ के सॉफ्ट टारगेट हिंदू धर्म को मान लेते हैं और हिंदू धर्म के ऊपर लगातार प्रहार कर रहे हैं. आज वो करवा चौथ के ऊपर लेस्बियन का आ गया, सूटेबल बॉय पहले आ गई थी, भानकाल पे गाना गाते आ गई थी. ये क्या तरीका है? मैं इसको अच्छा नहीं मानता हूँ.
The ad campaign was also heavily trolled on social media by right-wing groups and by those who felt a Hindu festival was insulted and same-sex relationships were celebrated.
एकदम चांद का टुकड़ा लगोगी दोनों.
Political bullying and under social media pressure acting as super censors, Dabur pulled down this campaign, despite the advertisement clearing the benchmark set by the official censor board, despite the Supreme Court of India decriminalizing homosexuality in 2018, despite the promise of new India. Incidentally, this ad is just the latest collateral to a bigoted troll attack. A few days ago, CET came under attack with its brand ambassador Amir Khan asking people not to burst crackers on roads.
रोड गाड़ी चलाने के लिए, पटाखे जलाने के लिए नहीं.
The ad was given a communal religious twist. Days before outrage over CET, it was Fab India. Fab India pulled down this campaign, once again owing to political and social media pressure. The festive promotional video of their latest campaign, labelled Jashn-e-Riwaz, the celebration of festivities, touched a raw nerve. While those supporting the bans feel there is a concerted attack on Hindu traditions in popular culture, the others question the ethos of New India, where if you believe in a multicultural society and inclusivity, you will be silenced. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, viewers. So is Hindu culture suddenly under threat? Or, like I said earlier, have we developed a thinner skin? I want to cut across to our panelists. I want to immediately go across to Image Guru, Dilip Cherian first, and we'll cut across to our other panelists as and when they join us. Mr. Cherian, you've been in the business for very long. Is this very new? The kind of outrage we see on ads which promote inclusivity, in the sense of the Dabur ad where we saw a lesbian couple celebrate Karwa Chauth, multicultural ads, the one we had seen in Fab India, which was pulled down because of Urdu word which defined Diwali and women which were not playing bindis. Is this new?
This kind of vehemence and viciousness is new. It actually represents a battle between an old India and a new India. It also represents the ability of new India or elements of new India to actually bully old India. And to some extent, it also is a reflection of old India's incomprehension of new India. And by incomprehension, I mean that old India panics and retreats rather than understand what is the impact, if any, of the kinds of attacks on them. Except for the situation where you have the Home Minister of a state making a statement and making a political issue out of it, the nature of troll attacks in general are limited. It's a kind of, shall I say, a passion for 24 hours, the hashtag trends, and then it vanishes without a trace. In fact, companies very often add to the, shall I say, the viciousness of the attack by retreating. If they were to hang in there and ignore, let me assure you that the kinds of measurements we have done of consumer research, the kind of image impact, etc., the total impact lasts for no more than 48 hours, and the total number of potential customers who are addressed by this is somewhere between 2 and 8%. So I don't think that old India understands what's happening in new India, and new India understands that it is fashionable to vent their passion,
right?
And then they love it when they can yell victory.
You know, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask you a bit about why is it that big brands, big corporate brands like Dabur are caving under this social media pressure. But I want to bring in our other guests as well. I have with me Ashutosh Srivastava. He's an advocate with the Supreme Court, understandably. You have taken strong exception to these ads, Mr. Srivastava. Let's just talk about the Dabur ad. Why do you think a lesbian couple portrayed in this ad celebrating Karwa Chauth is actually an attack on Hinduism or Hindu culture?
I feel that whenever these big corporates, they are coming up with their ads, they should be somewhat sentimental towards, the religions and maybe the, the mythology of people. And we are talking about old India, new India. One my friend was telling, nobody is against a new India. Of course, new India is, everybody wants to welcome new India, and this is what everybody is trying to make India as. But it doesn't mean that, we are against our culture, we are against the religious sentiments, we are against, the feelings of people. It is not like that. New India doesn't mean that,
tell me, I want
the
to
feelings
know,
of people.
Sir, tell me, the exception that you took to the Dabur ad with a same-sex couple celebrating Karwa Chauth, how is it an attack on the Hindu culture?
No, when you go to the mythology, when you read it, so there was a particular purpose by which, this Karwa Chauth evolved in the country. Okay, so obviously when you are coming up with the same gender couple, so obviously the ad would be somewhat different. There is no harm putting such things, but when you are, celebrating some old mythology, so obviously the basic principle of that old mythology has to be kept in mind.
So tell me something, you're an advocate
just
with the
destroy
Supreme
the basis.
Court?
Yes.
So do you know in 2018, you're an advocate with the Supreme Court, right?
Yes.
So do you know in 2018, the Supreme Court decriminalized homosexuality?
Yes.
How is it against?
There is
you still believe it's against Hindu culture?
Nobody.
No, I want to ask you. Do you still believe? Do you still believe? Sir, do you still believe? As somebody who's taken exception to the ads, who are saying it's harming Hindu culture, the ethos or the mythology it stems from. Do you think? Do you think? Sir, I just want to ask you. Here's the question. So, do you think?
Yes, tell me.
An advertisement of a same-sex couple or lesbian, it promotes lesbianism, or how does it impact Hindu culture?
To have any relation between the same gender has been allowed and it has been decriminalized by the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court has not said that we are all, no culture has to be followed and, that's Karwa.
So you still think that
First of all, we should understand.
It's uncultured if a same-sex couple celebrates a festival.
Whenever we are celebrating any festival, that is a different thing. What has been shown is somewhat objectionable, and
how?
the basis of
women dressed.
This evidence, the basis of this.
How is it?
No, the thing is, Dabur, the company itself felt that it was somewhat inappropriate to show something.
So there lies the problem as well.
They themselves withdrew it. So why
Okay,
don't
Brinda
we
Adige, there lies the problem as well, because Dabur, as such a big corporate, which I was asking Mr. Cherian as well, did not stand up against the social media bullying, did not stand up against political pressure, because it was no less a home minister of a state like Madhya Pradesh which came out and criticized and said we'll take action. If Dabur would have stuck to its ground, then possibly, you know, the debate or the narrative would be different.
You're absolutely right, because this is nothing short of bullying, and it is a patriarchy that is being time and again thrust on people, irrespective of academic qualifications, irrespective of professions. This use of culture, this use of sentiments seems to be very, very rampant where women are concerned. It can be an advertisement, it could be some kind of clothing, attire. It is all the time women, their bodies to be controlled, and people who have these kind of narrowed thinking will continue to oscillate between culture, religion, sentiment, and like the other panelists just now spoke about, mythology. So my constitution has no space over here. There is no reverence to my supreme constitution. We will bully people and tell them, bring it down, because my sentiments are not accepting something like that, while thousands of years of sculptures will continue to portray all of this. We will not talk about this because we want to continue to control women and their bodies. That is all they want to say at the end of the day. All of the other things that they say is just hot air.
All right, okay, Dilip Cherian, you know, there are ads which are just away from, say, you know, looking down on women or patriarchy. Maybe this ad was. But let's look at what happened with Aamir Khan, where actually he was dispensing sage advice, where he says in the C8 ad that don't burst crackers on the road. Or what happened with Fab India, because Diwali was given a name which was considered perception-wise as Urdu. A lot of people are saying it used to happen earlier as well, but the Hindus were not aware enough, and now in the sense of wokeness of you know, same-sex ads, or with what happened with Fab India, you're trying to pretty much insult Hindu culture. Why aren't you doing it with other religions, be it Christianity or Islam?
I think that there's room to do that too. There is one very fundamental thing which we are forgetting. This is a country where the vast majority of people are Hindu. All ads are trying to address the vast majority of customers who therefore also happen to be Hindu. So when you want to create an ad which is either provocative or stretches the boundaries of convention, which I call New India, Old India retreats the moment that there is an attack on it. And that is what is actually happening at this point of time. It is not that there isn't, for example, most people don't know that in America, the creation of Santa Claus out of Saint Nicholas, who was a Christian saint, was done by Coke to market more cold drinks at this point of time of celebration. So Santa Claus came from Saint Nicholas, and that transition took place into popular culture. So, you know, Christian countries have that kind of issue happening all the time. So I don't think that this is you know, confined to any one religion or the other. What happens is that ads tend to address the largest section of consumers. So you won't find an ad which is directed, just as an example, at tribals, because they're too small a part of the consumer pool for anyone to create an ad or design an ad for them. Because at this point of time, New India can afford to sit in their armchairs and do troll battles online with very little effort and very little you know, basis for it. Companies tend to panic, thinking that, oh, this is a mass movement. It isn't. It's just a bunch of people who are paid or not paid, who are convinced.
But Mr. Cherian, if there was no political voice to it, you know, because maybe there is a sense of being overwhelmed with the trolling, because it's bolstered with, you know, with politics. You have a home minister of a state like Madhya Pradesh saying we'll take action. There,
I think that the politics outplayed everything else, and I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that in the vast majority of cases, you don't find any official voice taking issue. You don't find, see, what happens is that if one political voice joins issue, then the next political voice has to raise her pitch or his pitch even higher. So you found what was being said about Prakash Jha's movie today, and Sadhvi decided to raise the issue one level higher. So you have a situation of competitive raising of the or competitive lowering
and it is
of the
and
standards
it's
of this
encouraged because then these ads are pulled down. Anyway, Ashutosh Srivastava, I'll come again. Let's just go back into the point that you were making. How are these ads anti-Hindu?
See, first of all, when you went to the Supreme Court, I wanted to tell you that Supreme Court has decriminalized the relation between the same gender, but it has not allowed the marriage between the two same genders. So that is separate thing. Now, when you
do you also know,
Karwa Chauth, this is
okay, now that you raised that point, India is one of those very few countries which hasn't. Do we want to be, in the ranks of those countries is a separate debate, and it's in court, the matter is still in court, but coming back to it.
When you talk about law,
the Supreme Court has also not decriminalized marital rape.
So what
does that mean it is okay?
Right. Relevant. Secondly, 1 minute, let me finish.
Please finish. No, hello? I want to ask you, how is it anti-Hindu?
It is not about anti-Hindu or being anything. It is about that if some people, maybe if you consider it a political party or people, whoever, they have the constitutional right if to protest peacefully. Even the Supreme Court, when you talked about Supreme Court, the Supreme Court has allowed any such protest which takes place peacefully. People have the right.
Sir, nobody is protesting peacefully. The Home Minister of a state is saying, I'll take action.
Now,
he's threatening action, but coming back to it, I don't want to get into. I want to ask you, sir, for someone, Mr. Srivastava, Mr. Srivastava, I want to ask you one basic question, which many of us who don't find these ads offensive are grappling with. So educate us and tell us, how are these ads anti-Hindu?
See, there can be different view. Even when 10 people go to a restaurant,
sir, educate us. Tell Miss Brinda Adige, who doesn't find them anti-Hindu, why are they anti-Hindu?
Who is saying? You come again, please.
Sir, the main reason why these ads have been pulled out is because most people like you say these ads are anti-Hindu.
Now, you said that there was a political pressure. And that's
sir, I'm asking you, why are these ads anti-Hindu? Why are you offended by these ads?
No, then the companies say, the companies themselves, they are feeling.
Sir, why are you offended? Why are you? Sir, leave the companies. I'm asking you, educate us. Why is a lesbian ad anti-Hindu?
No, it is not an ad. It is showing one particular celebration of Karwa Chauth, which is celebrated between a married couple. Now, in India, do you think that the same genders have been allowed to marry each other?
Sir, you were talking about mythology. I can give you 3 cases. But having said that, that's a conversation for another day.
No, I am a lawyer. I'll stick to my legal point. I'll not go into the other things.
Sir, your legal point, you've come here with the ethos that these ads are offensive. That's not legal. That's perception.
Yes,
but having said that,
it can be offensive.
Sir, okay. I appreciate you joining us. I need to close this show. I need to close this show. I thank you. Thank you all for joining us, Mr. Cherian, Ms. Brinda Adige, and Ashutosh Srivastava. Well, the ad has been taken down. Dabur has pulled out the ad. Whether it was right or wrong, we leave it for our viewers to decide. Up next is Gaurav Samant.